Joining us to go through the papers in more details this morning, actor Christopher Biggins and Deputy Political Editor at the Mail on Sunday, Anna Mike.
Channel, Britain's news channel.
Joining us to go through the papers in more details this morning, actor Christopher Biggins and Deputy Political Editor at the Mail on Sunday, Anna Mikhailova, the very thing. Thank you very much indeed. Good seeing you both. Anna, we're going to begin with you, the Sun, and the founder of the Dyson empire has had something to say about tax.
Yes, so Sir James Dyson's put the Chancellor on notice. Says that he absolutely must not go through with a big corporation tax rise. So to brief everyone, corporation tax is about to go up from 19% to 25%, and this is going to be a massive dividing line in the budget coming up. So there's a lot of pressure already on Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt to scrap this. James Dyson is saying that if they go through with this, it'll make the UK less competitive, drive businesses away, and really it's piling on pressure.
The only thing I'm going to say about that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mr. Dyson not move his manufacturing plant to Turkey or something?
It's a slight downside to this whole thing. I think a lot of people will agree with what he's saying, and business leaders in particular. But Dyson himself moved his business HQ to Singapore, but crucially also said it was nothing to do with tax. So
cheap labour. But, I mean, what's the defence? I mean, the mood music that we're getting from the Treasury, and they're so close, aren't they, Hunt and Sunak, is that they are unmoved by these appeals. This is going to happen whether we like it or not.
The defence generally on corporation tax is that there isn't much evidence that lowering it in the modern world actually does bring in investment.
Ireland would argue
well,
on that.
I think they'd have to lower it a lot to make a significant impact is the point. But I think what we're really seeing here is Jeremy Hunt is so worried about repeating the Liz Truss Kwasi Kwarteng budget that he's almost possibly going to go too far. So he just doesn't want to be linked with any tax cuts because he doesn't want to look irresponsible, doesn't want to spook the markets, which would be a big mistake because, there's a difference between being sensible, taking everyone with, not making the mistakes of before without being too heavy-handed and increasing the tax burden even more.
Now, we've got a story here, front page of the Mirror, and Isabel, you can grab that big headline, is 11 million suffer in NHS dentist crisis here. Now, we could put in midwives for that one. We could put in so many aspects of the National Health Service that if you're relying on getting that sort of help, you're going to fall short on this one. Tell us more.
Well, it's rather terrifying, this story. I mean, I've got page 5 of the Mirror, and it says kicked in the teeth, which I think all people are, because teeth is I had toothache last week, and luckily I rang my dentist, and I was seen the following day, so I was lucky. But a lot of
was your dentist private dentist?
No, it's National Health.
National Health, right? But you're an actor, you see, so you could probably have acted a very good "I'm in great pain" and.
Well, I did, yes, you're right, yes, and I cried a lot. No, I didn't. I mean, I think, it's just the luck of the draw. I really do. And a lot of people, though, we hear terrible stories of doing their own dentistry. Going in with a hammer and claws and things. I mean, just terrifying what they're doing. And ruining their whole teeth situation. I mean, it's a ridiculous scenario. And you're quite rightly said, there's a lot of other people in the National Health, a lot of other professions, which are suffering.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I know what the answer is. The answer is surely to have an indenture which has nothing to do with your mouth, to pay for dentists to go through university and say the payback is that you spend 7 years in the National Health Service or else you have to buy your way out of it.
The only problem with that is then the National Health Service is just full of brand newly qualified dentists when actually you want often the more experienced ones dealing with those tricky cases. Private healthcare is quite often just filled with cosmetic and less serious stuff, but as so often the case, the NHS stuff is often the more challenging. Do you want them fresh out of medical school? I mean, what's the answer to this, or dentistry school?
I don't know what the answer is, but I would just add that we've got a story today that you get jobs if you have a winning smile, apparently. You're more likely. So it's not, it's as well as being extremely painful not to have a working NHS dentistry, it's also bad for the economy. So it needs to be fixed urgently.
I mean, there's nothing like, it's a terrible pain. I know lots of other ailments are painful, but this is, you know, somehow it really affects the whole of your brain.
It sends you absolutely mad. Anna, what's the story at front of the Times? Boris Johnson's nominated another member of his family for a peerage.
He has. So the Times says that Boris Johnson has put forward Stanley Johnson, his father, for a knighthood.
Oh, how lovely.
Which is exactly. I think everyone always says they only accept honours for the parents, and this is sort of cutting out the middleman. He's going straight to just handing his father a knighthood.
And he, no matter what way that looks or what we all think about it, he can do that, can he?
Of course he can do it.
Yeah.
Look, I think some people on the way here, the taxi driver I spoke to was very angry about it. Personally, I can't really get angry about it. I don't really think it's a big deal at all. The original rumour was that he was going to put Stanley Johnson in the Lords. Now, that would have been a thing because that's the legislature, but a knighthood is a ball, and I think...
You're related, though, to Boris, aren't you, Eamonn?
Why? How am I related?
Well, I thought weren't you up for a gong? You know, isn't that through him? You were sort of his.
No, it wasn't anything to do with him. No, in the slightest. No. But I wouldn't mind. I mean, Sir Christopher Biggins sounds quite
very
great.
good. Sir Eamonn Holmes. Oh, what a
There's a ring to it. Now, Ken Bruce, whether he gets something or not, for all his years on Radio 2.
What is happening to the BBC?
So today's the first day without Ken.
Yes, and he's the last one of a huge lineup. Vanessa Feltz, Craig Charles, Simon Mayo, Steve Wright, Paul O'Grady, all got rid of by the BBC. Radio 2, I love. I really enjoy listening to Radio 2. I listen to it in the car. But I find now, in the evenings especially, they're going for a younger audience. Now, surely that was Radio 1's position. And we want Ken Bruce to be there, you know, in the mornings for us and everything like that. I just think they're not looking at it sensibly, and they're thinking the new audience is a young audience, which I don't think it is. I think the older audience is still there.
Well, there we go. We have to wrap. We've got to say thank you to both of you, and we will do more papers in the next hour. Anna Mikhailova and Christopher Biggins, we'll see you just after.
I'm just thinking, it's Gary Davis who takes over from Ken Bruce today, and Gary Davis... I can remember when Gary Davis was the hot young thing on Radio 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, Gary Davis.
Ooh, Gary Davis.
Ooh, Gary Davis.
How much younger is he than Ken
Radio.
Bruce? How much younger is he than Ken
Probably
Bruce?
about 10 years, I would imagine. Right,
don't just
not a lot in it. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.